welcome to another episode of the Margin Max Minute. I'm 𝗠𝗏𝗄𝗏, the Fit Professional One, and I'm so grateful that you've joined me today. I want to talk about the idea of artificial intelligence, but not directly. First, I want to cover this concept of a factorial design. This is a tool from engineering, and in particular, industrial engineering, that's been around for decades. What it means essentially is that we have to sit back and determine just what we're going to test. For instance, the way we go about pulling this together is first a hypothetical experiment where we come up with our features and our price points. What's interesting is it becomes very difficult practically to get this kind of analysis done in the real world. For instance, if we only have 4 features across a high and a low price we want to test in our market, we're already to 16 possible outcomes. So it can be seen that we can drastically simplify this, improve our overall expenses of the test by taking maybe one of the features out. So we test 4 minus 1 or 3 features across a high and a low price point. That's going to generate essentially 8 outcomes that we have to analyze. Clearly, as stated, that has saved us some money, but it also has eliminated a bunch of tested outcomes that now we have to put in aliases for or use statistics to try to figure out what might happen or simply not consider them in our decision. The numbers grow incredibly fast. If we take simply 5 features at a high and low price point, all of a sudden we're at 32 outcomes we have to analyze. And if we want to add just one more price level, so we're taking those 5 features across a high, medium, and low price point, all of a sudden we're at 243. You can see that the numbers build exceptionally fast and become extraordinarily expensive to analyze, not to mention the plethora of data that comes out. And as we add different perspectives and look at it from different functionality, maybe marketing versus sales, sales versus production, production versus orders, all of a sudden we have so much data to interpret, it's overwhelming. What generally happens is because of these expenses, the concept of factorial design in our market simulations, for instance, or fractional factorial design where we remove a couple of features, we just tend to not use because they become very, very, very expensive. So now we're in this data age. We're in the age where artificial intelligence might be available to us. Clearly, you have to facilitate getting your own data inside a system where it's safe, where you can protect that data, but all of a sudden the ability to really look at a significant amount of combinations across features, across price points, across markets, and we can just keep adding factors and complexity with the advent of artificial intelligence to really utilize that to go in and find where the sweet spots are, where the opportunity is to move forward. What I really encourage the listener to brush up on is to understand just the design of your experiments going forward and the questions you're going to ask of that data before you go to the time and expense to bring in artificial intelligence. Really get those designs done. It is possible you might find that in a third-party trusted vendor that's going to protect your data, and by all means make sure that your data is protected. But you might also be able to justify the outcomes of bringing some of that capability within your organization and being able to really utilize it going forward. So this particular week's Margin Max Minute is something I believe we'll be back to with multiple guests. But in the meantime, you can take some time to really think about the questions you're going to have of your data and start to design those questions with your hypothetical outcomes and start to assign the probability of those to be tested. At that point, run the numbers based on those outcomes to see if the increase in margin in your organization is large enough to even justify the expense. It will depend on your organization just what you deem as affordable, but it will be a fraction of the savings. Please keep in mind that whatever you hypothesize you're going to get back by understanding the data and making the correct decisions moving forward, you can't spend all of that on your artificial intelligence or data analysis. It should be a small factor. Let me throw out a rule of thumb, maybe make sure that that complete expenditure is in the area of 10% of what you think the present value of the outcome is based on your preliminary data without the use of computer-generated modeling. So with that, I wish you a great week, and I look forward to revisiting these topics again in the Fit Professional media. Until then, I hope you have a great week. It's time to get to work.